Hello and welcome back to my channel. Have you ever wanted to drive the Bugatti in S-Class but you haven't been able to figure out how to do it? I got the video for you today. That's right, the Pontiac Firebird can have the Bugatti engine in it. So, and this is why I'm doing this on single player today, because this is a $400,000 engine. Right here. The W16, the Bugatti engine. This will allow you to throw it into this car and at least race the engine for the Bugatti in the S-Class. Alright, so for the parts on this thing, everything is just standard Elite. You're going to take because it starts with, when you put the engine in, it'll have the Elite turbocharger in there. You're actually going to move that down to the naturally aspirated so it'll fit into S-Class. With the Elite road suspension, the super brakes, the Elite grip tires, the Elite clutch, the 5-speed sport gearbox. As you can see, changing the gearbox to anything else other than the 4-speed will move you up to S+. So if you want to do the 4-speed and play around with moving that a little bit, you could. It's just going to give you a lower overall top speed, even though it'll give you a higher 0 to 60. And we have the Elite differential with super nitrous grip and drift. For the handling, 60% is as high as this goes. Steering sensitivity is set to high with downforce 3 to the right. Traction control is off and drift entry is set to brake tap. All in all, that'll give us a top speed of 197 miles per hour. I wish it was over 200, but to get it to fit into S, you get it at 197. A 0 to 60 of 3.6, a quarter mile of 10.8, but you have 1,077 horsepower and 929 foot-pounds of torque. Alright, so let's go hop into a race and show this thing off a little bit. Alright, so first off, I want to apologize for the slightly choppy video on this. I am running it on my PC and recording on my PC at the same time, so it does cause it to stutter a bit graphically, unfortunately. So, off the line, this thing's a little slow because it kind of gets bogged down in second gear for a little bit. But once you can get past all the traffic, and it just will eventually just start picking up speed like nobody's business. So I'm going to draft on him for a second, and he's gone. So this thing doesn't handle the best because it only has 60% grip. But it is able to be turned. Like, that was just a normal turn. I didn't drift it or anything. But you will have to drift the corners that are a little bit sharper in this ride. Really, I just wanted to make this because it was a Trans Am with the Bugatti engine, and it just seemed funny to me. See, it got loose there. That was the car getting loose on its own. But, yeah, I mean, it was a Bugatti engine and a Trans Am, so why not? Because who would ever think to put a Bugatti engine into a Trans Am in real life? Like, has anybody ever actually done that? So, honestly, it's not bad. Like, its acceleration could be slightly better, but it keeps climbing. It doesn't really get bogged down at a point. Oh, you cop. That was real nice of the cop to just send me off course like that and let everybody catch up and cost me my speed. But, you know, what are you going to do? So that was a drift corner, obviously. If you try and take that corner without slowing down or drifting or anything, you're not going to make it. And I am annoyed that Lyric is back in front of me because of that wreck. That's alright. It didn't last long. But if I wreck again, he'll probably get the lead back and win. Hey, okay, good. That cop didn't actually get in my way. Like, I understand the point of putting the cops in the races, like, to have them in there to, you know, try and stop the race and all that kind of stuff, but they really don't do anything except just get in the way and be annoying. They don't stop anything. Nobody's getting caught by the cops during a race. It's just not happening. So that was a pretty good drift right there. I just boosted too soon and didn't get back over like I should have. But let's see if we can get this thing maxed out on its speed by getting some burst NOS off of these jumps. Ooh, that was close. I almost hit a barrier. And I'm not sure it's ever actually going to hit 190 because I just don't have the nitrous to do it. I mean, it got there. It was 191 at the end. But yeah, really the car is not that bad. It really isn't the fastest car out there, and it definitely isn't the best handling. But it's just fun because you throw this giant 16-cylinder engine into an old-ass Trans Am. Alright, I'm going to go run one more race with it just to show it off in a different kind, and we'll go from there with it. And here we are in Blue Collar, which is one of my more favorite races to take on in this game. I don't know, I just like the race for whatever reason. I don't have a specific reason beyond, I just like it. So I know this course decently well, but come on, get off the wall. That was my bad. I just didn't take that corner correctly. So yeah, I mean, it's a little slidey in certain spots, and then in other spots it's not too bad. It's kind of weird, but it does handle pretty decently for having such a big engine in it and being only 60% gripped up. And I do believe this is a rear-wheel drive car, so it's good that it doesn't always slide out. You'd think with all this power it would just constantly be sliding everywhere, but thankfully it's not. As you can see, it does kind of like I said before, kind of get bogged down in that second gear, and then it just kind of takes a second to get through it into third. But once it does, it starts to climb the way you would want it to. So some of my other cars are only doing like 125 when we come into this stretch, and this one was up over 130 already, so that's always good to have higher speeds entering stretches that especially slow you down like that one does. And that you want to drift a little bit, because if you don't, you're just going to turn right out, or you're going to have a drift that you didn't want to have happen and then just be completely messed up by it. So this is the quote-unquote technical section of the course. Look at that beautiful drift right there. I think this is why I like the course, is just this nice little windy, turny section where you just kind of, oh Lord, where it's just kind of like, hey, there's all this wide open area, and hitting that car probably just cost me, 2 seconds on my time would be my guess. And we'll go ahead and finish this one up. And 224 isn't too bad. Like I said, hitting that car coming out of that corner probably cost me 2 seconds. So 222 would have been a more realistic finishing time for this vehicle. But yeah, like I said, I just did this one for fun. It's definitely not the best S-Class car out there. It's definitely not the worst either. It's just fun to have an old car with a much newer engine in it. If you want to build it, go right ahead. The car is cheap, but like I said, the engine's like $400,000. So that is the only reason I did this on the single-player PC, because I have a ton of money on this version, versus doing it in my PS5 online, where I would have to earn all of that money plus the money to buy all the parts, and I just didn't feel like taking the time to do that for a car I probably won't use very often. But that's going to do it for me today. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, leave some comments on down below, smash that like button, and I will catch you in the next one.